So if you're someone that's looking to move or relocate to the Virginia Beach or Hampton Roads area, we're going to be going over today really everything you need to know in terms of the cost of living here in relation to other places within the United States. So let's get to it. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Aaron here, back once again with Russell from Creed Realty, and we have a little bit of a newer setup here. We're going to be experimenting with different things here on the channel, giving you guys everything that you need to know in terms of living, breathing, sleeping, playing here in the Hampton Roads and Virginia Beach area. And today we're going to be going over the cost of living, everything when it comes to the housing market, really anything. What is it just overall going to cost to live here? We'll jump into the gas prices and things like that. Before we get into the specifics of it, if you guys are looking to move, relocate, whether it's military, whoever it is,
for sure,
we'll leave Russell's information on the screen as well as down below. We'd love for you to reach out, shoot us a text, email, any time of the day. We're here to help you out where we can. Let's do the easy stuff first. Not easy, but the housing stuff. Average
absolutely.
Rent, average mortgage, things like that.
So our housing versus Northern Virginia, we're about 50% less cost of living as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Housing here typically is definitely cheaper. Of course, pays there are much better as well, and that kind of compensates for your housing and stuff. So definitely you can get a house here. Average medium home value here is around 250, 270. There you're looking at around 500,000. And of course, with that 500,000, you don't get much of a yard either. The majority of the homes there are attached condos, things of that nature. And of course, you've got fees to go along with those. So while we do have a good mix of communities that are both condo, single family, and of course, just about every type of real estate in the world you could think of in Virginia Beach, we do have a good mix of that here, so you're not just pushed into one bubble. You've got a lot of options here.
For people that don't necessarily know, median home price, what would you expect maybe average monthly payment for a mortgage?
So you're looking at anywhere between $1,200 and up, depending on how big the house is, if you have any condo fees or any additional fees that are added in there, because there's always that potential. So I would say anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600, $1,800 for that median. Of course, like I said, depending on location and everything, you could change.
Lots of variables, but just an average.
The gist of it, yeah. 12 to $1,600, $1,800, yeah.
And if someone was, let's say they're moving to the area for rent, what average rent? I mean, I know average I pay, right now I think renting, we're paying about $1,400. I know that might be a little higher, but what would you say?
So depending on the neighborhoods, it depends. It's funny, I have people all the time ask me, what can I get for $1,000? And I'm like, nothing. There's nothing available for $1,000. I mean, there are a few places,
you have to do some digging.
You might have to even dig your way in there. But so for the most part, we're starting around $1,400 to $1,400 for a 2-bedroom. And then, depending on how large it is and how much space you get, if it's single family or not, you can go upwards to, $2,000, $2,400. The best thing about that is, though, for the majority of them, it's easy for them to easily see, especially with the rates where they are now, that it's cheaper to buy than to rent something.
Mm-hmm. Jumping into, obviously people need to go and shop for food and groceries. What is kind of average, let's say if someone goes out weekly to get groceries, what do you think that would look like?
So it shows, the median shows that we're about 13% less than Northern Virginia is. I'm assuming that probably has something to do with the fact that there's more people. There's, I hear there's still a lot of people, but I think our stores are pretty well stocked, and our prices, I think, are pretty much on spot with the majority of the rest of the cities that are similar to us. I mean, we do have some local, farmers and stuff like that. I mean, you can go high end. You can still spend a paycheck
if you're going to Whole Foods.
At Whole Foods, yeah. So, I mean, it just depends on how nice you want that produce to look, you know. But yeah, if you want individually wrapped apples, you're going to pay more for those. Yep. But then there are those of us who shop at other stores that, are less expensive. So I would say about 13% less on average than other places. And we do have a large variety of stores. We have, obviously, we are right, you can shoot from here to the Wegmans right across the street. Mm-hmm. That's one of our best things we just got in Virginia Beach. It's an amazing store. Everybody likes to shop there. Price is a little bit higher, so you might see a little bit more than 13% difference, but great spots to shop at. Tons of opportunity out there, and you can find just about anything you want.
Yeah, and we have the Aldis and the regular
Aldis, Lidl's, all of them. Yeah, you name it, it's here.
That's food and groceries. We have, I think next up on our list, we're talking about utilities. So average utilities. I know that I maybe it's different in because I'm renting, but I think average I'm paying $150 for power, then the internet's $100, but maybe jump more into specifics.
Yeah, so so utilities are so different here, and of course they do swing season to season as well, depending on the type of heat source you've got. So if you're a gas heat person, typically, wintertime, your electric's gonna go down, your gas bill's gonna go up, and vice versa in the summer, your electric's gonna go up, you should have little to no gas bill in the summer unless you just like to stay hot in your house. But so they do swing, they variable. I would say the average one around here is about $100, $125 a month is what you're looking at. And of course, we're speaking just like standard utilities, electric, water, sewer, not including cable, internet, and things of that nature. Those can skew it crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna vary for internet. I think I pay like $93 a month, but that's like faster speeds. And what are the main services are Cox and Verizon?
We got Cox, Verizon. That's pretty much the gist of it. There's some satellite based options out here, but for the majority of them in the city,
Cool. And then transportation, we can talk like public transportation.
Yeah, so public transportation is much cheaper here, of course, than it is in the big cities, but it's also much different here than it is in the big cities. So, for an instance, to get from Virginia Beach, depending on what part of Virginia Beach you're in, to downtown Norfolk, let's say if you were to work in Norfolk but live in Virginia Beach, it could take as long as an hour and a half by the time you go through the different transfers and stops on the buses. Of course, in Norfolk, we got light rail, and we do have a couple options. There's a light rail station right here, not far from us, actually, off of Newtown. Yeah. And you can hop on there. Now, that's pretty fast, and that's pretty inexpensive. I think it's $2 or $3 each way. So as long as those mass transportation, those types of things, we do have a little bit of that. We've got more stuff in the works. The city's trying to, they're working not far from where we are right now on our intersections and things of that nature, keep the traffic flowing a little bit more smoothly when it comes to that thing. And we do have a lot of public bus stops, but the transportation is still a little slow for our area.
Yeah, I guess kind of related, gas prices.
Gas prices, I think they're pretty typical. But there was a time when I was poor and I had to dig out the ashtray for change. You can't get gas for change anymore. Yep. I think it's on spot with the region. I don't really see. Now, of course, it is typical. So it's wise to mention that we are a vacation destination. Mm-hmm. So what you will find is the closer you get to the ocean front, right off of the main exits of the highway, gas tends to be higher. Just like it does on the way to Florida, if you've ever noticed. If you get right off the turnpike or if you get right off of the highway, gas, because it's a captive audience and they got you. I mean, you're almost out of gas. What are you going to do? Run out or walk? Yeah. So they got you kind of where they need you. So
we're recording this in January, the end of January in 2021. So I think the last time I looked, what are they, like 147?
About
something like that.
We had a little bit of an increase after everything. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, and I think it's only normal in like some of the bigger cities too. Like it's going to always be a little bit more.
Yeah, you're gonna pay a little bit more, and it's just how it works. Yeah.
So next up we have healthcare. So
that's a good one. That's a good one. So healthcare is this is kind of crazy. For some reason, our healthcare is a little bit higher here than it is in Northern Virginia. I don't know why. There's really nothing to associate it, the two back and forth. Now we do have a lot of great hospitals here. We have some of the top, Centera is one of our biggest hospitals here. We've got a brand new cancer center, maybe less than 2 miles from here they just built. We have CHKD, which is our children's hospital. And then, of course, EVMS is right in Norfolk. So we have tons of opportunities here. I do think maybe that because of some of the, maybe some of our elderly citizens that worked in a lot of the shipyard buildings and things like that and were... I guess the best word, exposed to some of the issues health related there. That may be some of the issues that actually come up and increase some of our healthcare issues here, like the mesothelioma and stuff like that you have from the people working in asbestos areas and stuff like that.
I guess, like maybe average like price of what someone could expect.
Oh, wow. So I think the last time, urgent cares and stuff like that typically run, depending on if you're insured or uninsured, it's like $150. I think an average emergency room visits probably going to be around $400 now, plus or minus. Of course, everybody's staying clear of the hospitals right now because of COVID. Crazy, but there's definitely tons of options out there, from home health care to everything. We've got it all here, but you may pay a little bit more for it.
Yeah. So let's jump into some. That's the boring stuff. Let's jump into like the nightlife, like not in the town, like what is that? Of course, in a world where maybe not as restricted on things we could do, but not in the town. Let's say you go out to a restaurant, nice plate of dinner, a couple of drinks, blah, blah, blah. Like what would that usually?
Typical night out on the town. It depends on whether you're a baller or not a baller, I guess, and depends on what you want. So, the locals, we have our own little special spots that we have, called home for years, and you'll start to learn about those as you probably watch the channel more and learn more about what we got to offer. But There are definitely spots out there, oceanfront dining. You're going to pay a little bit more for it because they're paying a little bit more for the space. I would say an average meal for two out on the town with some drinks, you're probably looking at $150 easy for good like seafood and things of that nature. Of course, you can cheap it out and go some happy hours and really kind of roll through that if you want
Taco
to.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Taco Tuesdays or $10 lobsters at the beach. Yeah. I mean, you've got some great local places that really try to pull through the slow for them winter season by offering some great specials. You got places like I said, the $10 lobsters, whole lobsters for $10, crab leg nights. You got just about anything you can think of around here. And the majority of our places are always spot on there. We've got some restaurants that are well known throughout, but some that have held on for years, some new spots, which is I think good for us because I think our area for a while food wise was a little stagnant. So we got a lot of new spots opening up, a lot of farm to table spots like Esoteric and Commune is amazing. So if that's your thing, you can definitely enjoy a little bit of everything here without getting outside of your comfort zone, and still try some new stuff, but get what you want if you like. If you like seafood, there's tons of spots for that for sure.
Yeah, I think notable too. Like I know Waterman's down at the oceanfront. They have a lot, and I'm sure like a lot of, especially because we are a beach town. Of course, there's not as many people that are traveling here in the the winter time, but in the winter they do have like a lot of like really good specials that like they drastically bring down the prices.
True. And they don't know whether you're a local or not. Just go sit down and pretend you've been there before, and
you'll get the special treatment.
After about 4 crushes, they won't know who you are. You won't even know who you are. So there's nothing wrong. And of course, we got Crush Fest, of course. Yep. Well, we did before Corona took it all away from us. We had Crush Fest, which was a big thing at the beach too. But yeah, I mean, and beyond that, oh my gosh, something in the water. I mean, that was a great turnout. Hopefully we'll got some more of those planned in the future. So if you've never been here, that's a great time to come just plan ahead. So you have somewhere to live or stay. Yep.
So I think the last thing we can touch on is going to be maybe parking down at the beach. Because, I mean, obviously we have a ton of people come here during tourist season. So what can someone expect, to pay, even if they are local, right, when they decide to move here? What can they expect?
So it depends the season. You're exactly right. Sometimes preseason, postseason, we'll have either free parking at the beach or discounted parking between certain hours. We do have digital meters, so you don't have to bring quarters and shove them in there. There's no one carries cash anymore. It's super simple and easy. I would say probably anywhere from $1 to $2 an hour. It really just depends on how long you're down there and what time it is. There's a lot of places that do have free valet parking, so you're not going to have to pay anything. You just tip them when you're done. There's a few free parking spaces too. You might have to walk a little bit further than you want to, but just keep that in mind. Yeah. When you're drunk, it seems a whole lot further on the way back. I'll tell you that right now from experience. And you don't want to drive there either. Caveat.
Get that.
You don't want to have to walk back to your car for your designated driver to take you home drunk.
And I also too, like in the summertime, like I mean you've seen, the summer as well as like when they do like the 4th of July weekends and the something in the waters,
packed.
like it gets packed. Absolutely. And you're paying like
$50. I mean, you've got people out there hawking spaces, man, for $50. I remember last year that one person had shut down their space and someone was renting, like selling spaces for $50 a pop. Don't do that.
All right, y'all. So that is gonna pretty much do it for the cost of living here. I think down, obviously in the future we'll talk more about the beaches. Even just making this video gave me a lot of ideas of what we can talk about, pros and cons. Just really, if you are looking to move to the area, we're going to be going out and doing interviews with local business owners and just everything across the board that you'll need to know if you are looking to make the largest investment of your life with us here in Virginia Beach and the Hampton Roads area as well. So with that being said, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also leave a like if you haven't already. If you did enjoy, it will let you know when we do upload new videos and get us out to more people, things like that. Anything else you wanted to add before we hop out?
So we'd love you to be our neighbor.
Perfect. All right, y'all. Anything you need, let us know. Leave a comment down below. Maybe what's your any questions or anything that they have, and we'll see you guys on the next video.